You constantly pick up inspiration and influences whilst on an adventure, you know, and that's partly the reason why I like, while I've done it this way again, you know, I've come to a country and I want to work with musicians, because in a way it removes having to think about a concept. This is the concept, you know what I mean? I'm here, I'm in Peru. You speak to people, real life situations, real life stories, you know, you see the land, you eat the food, hear the music. So, you know, you take that back with you. So I feel like when a musician's played something for you, when you have that back in the studio, all their energy and their, you know, energy from their parents and them parents' parents, it's all into that. All of this is always about relationships and how you relate and how you bring them into your environment, you know, and to do that in a way where nobody has to compromise, for me, is what I try and find that balance somehow, you know, because it can be done. No one should have to sacrifice anything of themselves that they don't want to. For me, it's about that freedom of being able to express yourself. So really it was an opportunity to come and learn something about a culture. Also to perhaps introduce this elements of Peru to the world that listen to the music that I make, you know. For me, that's an important part of what I try to do, you know. Some of the instruments that I use in the album, especially with the Afro-Peruvian instruments, are really quite interesting, you know. You have the cajon, which is probably more widespread known. You also have the cajita. They used to use it as a money box, so it would hang around the neck, and they make the rhythm out of opening and shutting the lid of the box, as well as making the rhythm with the stick hand. You have the quijada, which is the donkey's jaw, and the donkey's jaw, it still has the teeth in it. I've also worked with a group, they do the cajon and the sabateo, which is the stomping, which is like the tap dancing. And that was incredible to listen and record them doing the tap dancing, and to then incorporate their grooves with the electronic drums and bass, you know. So for me, it's just interesting to make these type of fusions, because what I love doing is manipulating and exploring the possibilities of sound, you know. So taking these type of sounds and then mixing them with what music I like, you know, making it, putting that, you know, how does tap dancing sound when you put it on a big sound system? You know what I'm saying? To me, I'm fascinated by these things, so I'll just try and make it happen. So, you know, I never knew about any of these instruments until I started researching Peruvian music, and that's what I'm saying. This is just Afro-Peruvian music. You know what I mean? This is not like Amazonian or Andean, you know? But when you come here, you don't realise how rich the culture is, not just of the people, the food, the landscape, and obviously that's the music as well, you know. So, you know, you've got music that's from the coast, you've got music that's from the Amazon, you've got music that's from the Andes, you know what I'm saying? So you've got all these different kind of like regions within this country that really offer for a lot of diversity. With that diversity here in the country, trying to actually pinpoint what is Peruvian is almost impossible. So in that respect, I felt like this album is like a lot more free when it came to creating it, because there was almost so much to draw from. I guess in some cases when you work, you know exactly what you want, and if that's the case, if I come here knowing exactly what I want, then I would tell, you know, I'd explain to people and give them a brief and say, okay, we're going for this type of vibe. But I want to be educated about the Peruvian way and the Peruvian vibe. So I have to, in a way, I take myself out of the equation when I'm recording to allow that to come through, you know.